You know, you can see Emily. Yeah, would you remember to give her the?
Okay, good evening, everybody, and welcome to the City of Kingston Tree Commission meeting. Today is Tuesday, November 14, and it is 5:03 p.m. My name is Suzanne Cahill. I'm the planning director for the City of Kingston. With us today, we have Tree Commission members. I'm going to go around the table and allow you to introduce yourselves. Tebby, I'll start with you.
Elizabeth Collins, Tree Commission.
Vince Orchard, Tree Commission.
Anita Collins, I'm the liaison to the Conservation Advisory Committee.
Amanda O'Neill, Tree Commission.
And we also have Kyla Dide, who is the assistant planner with us today. So thank you. One thing, just before we get started, George is not here. Kyla is going to check. We think George may have retired. So what, if we can find out that that is true, what I'd like to just do is I'll have the mayor maybe do up a certificate of appreciation, and then we'll draft up a letter and send it to George, thanking him for his assistance, you know, with our city and with the tree commission through these years of service with the DEC. So we'll find that out. We can't be sure. We think he has, but we're not sure. So we're.
He said it last
Yeah,
week.
he said
I
he was
think
gonna
he
be
said he was
away
retired.
and then he was going to retire.
Yeah.
So we don't know when.
But he said a couple of years ago he was retired too, so, you know,
Right.
George, you don't know. Anyway, so I'm just gonna dive right in. 334 South Wall Street. We had that one, on our agenda last month. We had it actually as 224, but when I looked it up in the, on the, Ulster County Parcel Viewer, it's actually 334 South Wall. This is the tree at the corner
That's why I was
of
wrong.
the, South Wall and Winchell. I did send a letter to the property owners, as the commission had discussed, after the last meeting, asking them for, you know, additional information. I have not received anything back from the property owners. So at this point, the Central Hudson was not committed to taking any action at either way. So I'm going to just recommend that we maybe hold this for another month and see if the property owners get back in touch with us. I understand, obviously this time of year is difficult for a lot of people, a lot of things going on. And we'll see if they get in touch with us in another month or so, but I'm inclined not to make any authorization unless we hear from the property owner themselves. Okay? So that kind of takes that one off the table for the time being. The second one is 65 St. James Street. Can you pull that information up? This one, I was hoping Evan was going to be here. This is actually right across the street from Evan's house. And there are two trees. This one we identified quite some time ago. And I believe at the time, the Boy Scouts and the Girl Scouts owned the property and had their offices there. And we did notify them. Oh, there's Kameen. Connie. And we had notified them. I did ask our DPW to look at it. And let's see, find his comment. That should be in there, Kyla. Can you?
Oh, yeah, I work on this. Yeah, it's Clinton and St. James.
Yeah, I mean, the one on St. James doesn't look that bad. I think it's more the roots, that are the issue.
Right, and the other one, like on Clinton, it's totally empty.
Yeah,
There's a big hole, and I think I went with John Beaver tree. We went to check the tree, and this tree has to go, like structurally it's not sound where it has to go.
okay,
And this one, like the issue is like, because they want to do the whole sidewalk, and this is very prominent, like, it's super high, and they are trying to kind of, like, do project, to be like ADA accessible. And so in order to have like the slopes, you know, that it's almost impossible. We are thinking to just, you know, like to shave some of the wood, but it's,
You think that it's too much that, I mean, they do have open land there. Would it be possible to kind of skirt the side, like, rather than just a straight sidewalk? Kind of just do a little kind of elbow around? Do you think that might be, and then shave, you know, a little bit of the roots further out and then level it off as, you know, kind of curve it around a little bit?
so it would have to be like totally like inside, like.
Yeah,
big
yeah, to do a
circle,
little
just,
curve.
like, to curve.
I mean, the tree seems to be healthy otherwise, correct?
Yes, the tree is not bad.
Yeah,
The
I
tree is
mean,
not bad. It's just like, you know, it's just the issue, you know, for them to do the sidewalk.
yeah,
And to be able to kind of maintain it and knowing like how much it costs also to, you know, to do a sidewalk.
Right.
Thinking like, you know, in 2 years it's gonna be back and how much do we have to shave also without damaging the tree?
so you don't think that would, okay.
Does it say what they're gonna restore the sidewalk with? Are they keeping it the bluestone or are they?
Well, I think that if we were to allow them to remove both trees, that both sidewalks should be restored to bluestone with bluestone material, okay? I also think that there should be replacement trees put in without question.
Yeah, we work like actually with the Place Corp to do some planting on the other side.
Okay,
So we planted a dogwood already and we planted also like another trees on both sides, but we could plant another one. And it's all green and garden.
oh, so there are new plantings here?
Yeah, we just planted with the wind, not the winds here, but the Place Corp,
Okay,
We planted that like last summer, I think. So it's just, and that's part of our, you know, like,
Okay.
assessment where I was like outside and I was like, oh.
yeah, no,
We
okay,
have a problem with this tree, and after like you have a problem with your sidewalk.
Okay.
Do something, so I kind of like initiated for them to do something. And initially we thought we can just shave it, you know, shave the roots and kind of do it. And they had their own contractor come on site and they explained that it's not gonna make it. Like, it's not worth it, it's just like, it's not gonna be. So I like your idea of kind of like offsetting, you know? Because like all the plants that we planted are fairly kind of like young, you know, so it would be easy to kind of.
so I did get a comment back from Ryan, he said I looked at, well, he said this tree multiple times, I think he was referring to the one around the corner in Clinton with the damage. It was decided the last time around that it was still a very healthy oak tree despite the unhealed scar, and it would remain. If there's a plan to finish rehabbing the sidewalk, then I would recommend removal. Also a note, part of the sidewalk on Clinton Avenue side was already done. This rehab would have to include the ADA ramp installation by the property owner at the corner.
What did you want?
ADA, so like, because you have the corner, this is a corner property, if they were going to redo the sidewalk from in front of this property out to St. James and around the corner and do St. James over as well, because that's their intent, to do the sidewalk over,
Yeah.
that they would have to do ADA compliant
Right.
ramping at the intersection.
So yeah, so this one, I went back with John and we looked, because now it's losing lots of limbs, the leaves are falling. So
Yeah.
I don't think it's in the same state as it was before, it's
Okay.
falling out. And he looked and he's like, this tree is ready to fall.
So your recommendation would be to take down?
Yes, this one like 100%.
Okay.
The other one, I was more like, because I spoke with them and I was like, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I hate to take down two trees right on one corner, you know, I
Let's-
mean, I know.
Let's look, I can pass by again tomorrow
Uh-huh,
and look if we can, you know,
Okay.
offset the sidewalk on the side, you know? Because I
okay,
know there are also like some kind of stone that leads to
Right.
that sidewalk, but maybe we can, you know, kind of. move
yeah,
this.
I'm wondering if that's, I mean, if that's possible to move it further away from the tree trunk.
Right.
And then you might be able to kind of be able to, and it doesn't have to be perfectly level, it can still have a little rise
Yeah, we have
and
that.
fall. I mean,
Yeah. but
without,
this
you
is-
know,
yeah.
disturbing, yeah,
Right.
okay.
So I can look tomorrow and see if there's like a
All right.
compromise, you know, and get back to you, like by email or something to you all.
So would the commission be okay with, Corinne's recommending the removal of the one on Clinton and the redoing of the sidewalk? And then for the one on St. James Street, she will look to see if there is potential to just redirect the sidewalk a little further, have it curve out and around further, to keep it, you know, to save the tree, along the life of the tree, and then maybe just have to shave a little bit of the roots.
Right.
And leveling out, you know, maybe some fill will need to be brought in to level it out, and, you know, to have a little bit of a slope up and down, but
Right.
you might be able to save the tree.
Yeah, I mean, the thing also like we have to say the angle because AD also you have an
Right.
angle. Like so
Yeah.
you need to, you know, so
Yeah,
see how this is gonna, but yeah, let's give it another shot.
Do you know how high the elevation is of that one bluestone? Looks like a couple inches.
It's a lot. I mean,
Higher?
yeah, it's really high. It is, I mean, and if you walk there, like, so,
It is,
Because-
it is higher.
because we-
Sidewalk. from there.
yeah, we did a test actually with somebody in chair to see, and like sometimes it's just little high and stuff.
Mm.
This one kind of like flipped the, like, you know, like the wheelchair like backwards because it goes so high. It's kind of like, it's really,
So what do you think by shaving the roots? You know, lifting up the bluestone,
well, right,
carving it,
right,
and resetting it in stone dust or whatever, or medium they're gonna use
Right.
under the bluestone,
right.
that would be sufficient in terms of angle?
Well, the thing is like, in order to do this, we have to remove so much, like, it's not gonna be shaving, it's gonna be like actually removing roots. You know, so that's why I feel like if we can, I think we
Why,
still do
why would you
this.
want to remove the roots?
Because
Because
they are like so high, like, it's, you know, like some of the roots, like some of like the, you know, what I mean, it's gonna be like so much, usually when we shave like, you know, like a small part, but this would be really like cutting and, you know, like, and also we know it's gonna be temporary, because we know it's gonna, you know, go back to it.
but that root that you see, is that a main leader or is it?
It's so close to the tree that I, you know, it just, if it was like this further,
Can you tell how big it is, diameter?
no,
probably not.
We
we
didn't,
would have to remove, we have to.
you didn't show under the root going across.
Yeah, and I don't even know, like, we can show it, like, the thing is so compact and it's kind of, it's
Mhm.
bursting, it's like, you know, everything is exploding, by the way, so that's why I feel like, because we usually shave and it's fine, you know, and I always thought this one we can go shaving until like, another
Yeah.
contractor that we work with and with that also, like, very good that I trust, you know, was saying like, it's not worth it, so let's, I mean, I try to take some pictures, it's very hard to show in the picture, like the, but if you walk there, you're gonna see it, it's really, it's really high.
Okay, so what I have is that, it would be the, authority to remove the Clinton Avenue tree, with all the standard conditions. Bluestone sidewalk would be, replaced. DPW permit, if necessary, the ADA, if they go as far as the corner, then they may be required to do the ADA compliant, at the intersection there for the sidewalk ramping. For St. James Street, we will defer, we will allow Crean an opportunity to review, to see if relocating the sidewalk further to the property owner's land, and then doing some shaving, maybe increasing, adding a little material in there, but keeping, again, the bluestone sidewalk along that side. And what do we want to do with replanting on both? If we want to replant at least one for the removed one, right? And then for the second one, the same, if it ultimately is a decision to remove. And I'll let everybody know what Kareem comes back with.
Is it an arborist that you're working with or?
Yeah,
John DeVault.
John Duval,
Oh, he's back.
I mean, top part. When he comes back, I just gliding on my foot.
Oh, yeah.
Just like, what do you think about this one? So it was one of the projects
Oh, nice.
with me to kind of.
Nice.
Where is he?
Now, oh, he's in Long Island.
So, I would need a motion for that and then a second. So a motion by Vince,
Second.
okay, second by Tebby. Any discussion? All in favor? Okay. Okay, great. So then moving right along, anything on Arbor Day
Yes.
to report?
So, I opted to just contact the woman that we had worked with, though she's a secondary person and this is an elementary building, because she was just so great to work with that I figured, let me start with her
Yep,
and, see if she just wants to take the lead in her administrative role, or if there would be somebody that she would, kind of bring in. Because I felt like we did really well working with her, and she was so helpful and awesome. So I got in touch with her and she got right back to me.
great.
And she's going to talk to the elementary person that's just below the superintendent, because the person that's kind of the same position as Ms. Sagan, Dr. Sagan, is no longer working with the district, so they're in a transition right now. So she might take the lead, or she might just have Wanda LoBianco, the principal, because it's only one building, might be able to just localize it and keep the lead. We did talk a little bit about project ideas, and I just threw out a couple that I thought were like, based on the type of building it is, where it's Montessori themed, to include all three sections, because fourth grade standalone, then first through third grade is a grouping, and then 3, 4, and kindergarten are a grouping as well. And she said that, that the arts concept that I had thrown out just as an idea was good, but that once the ball gets rolling, Wanda LoBianco having worked, and the woman that she's gonna contact, which is Dr. Felicello, she was also the principal at the beginning. Dr.
Okay.
Felicello was when it became a Montessori elementary. I actually know that because she was my nephew's principal at that building. She would also really be able to bring things to the table about maybe incorporating the idea of the student activities in a Montessori method.
Okay.
So that sounds pretty cool too, to kind of to feed off of what they're doing. I did bring up that there's a lot of Spanish-speaking students, a huge ENL population at that elementary school. So I would like to definitely make sure that there's an incorporation of Spanish and English.
Do you think at the ceremony, they must have interpreters there at the school then, so if there was a ceremony done?
Miss
it would be-
LoBianco normally translates stuff.
Okay.
She's brought some other people. She actually brought a Spanish teacher in from the high school to help her at open house this year. So there are, and she has
Okay,
a huge team of ENL teachers. And, so
Ms. LoBianco is the principal.
the principal one.
And who's the woman that you're?
I'm talking to Dr. Sagan, which is the secondary level humanities director. And that's why she worked with us, because she was the one that was the go-to, because we did the poetry, if you remember, when we
yeah,
did the middle
she did
schools.
the Bailey
She also
and the
works with
Miller.
K-12 art teachers.
Okay.
So at least she would be working with the art teacher if we went the art route.
Mhm.
But I know that they have, a little outside grouping of, they're called peace singers. They go around, they might be actually singing up at the Chopin Center
Mhm.
in December. And they've done the Earth Day Festival, right?
Yeah, and they did the Arbor Day when we did it here at City Hall. Remember they?
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, they sang and then
Yep.
they brought instruments, some of them.
So that's why I was leaning toward, the art concept.
Okay,
But, if we could do a spin on the Montessori, because that's a really popular thing in the community. And then we're gonna talk to, Ms. LoBianco about whether to do it at like that 1, 2 o'clock time when school's still in session, or if to do it at like 3:30 when school dismisses and allow parents to be a part of it, because it is a walking school. So the parents are very heavily involved and very supportive of the school. It's a great little community. So just like little things like that were in the works, but the
Okay.
idea is to start now in November and be able to do it right by the time April rolls around. So what we need to do, meaning you, is write that letter on the city letterhead that the tree commission would like to donate a tree and have a ceremony on April 26th.
So this would go Catalina, or does it go to school
It would
board?
go to the school board.
School board.
Mhm. And it's very simple, and she's like, that it has to be done, obviously, but that element of it is the easiest part, is for them to just put it on the agenda and say, yes, we will totally take a tree from the city, to be planted on the property. She did like, the mayor's idea, she thought that that might be good once, buildings ground obviously goes out and approves it, so who knows if there's any lines, to plant the tree near the new bike thing right on the Wall Street side.
Mm-hmm.
So that was a good idea, because there's nothing right there, and when that woman that spoke to us had done the other planting, I'm sorry, I can't remember her name. That's over kind of at the end of the property line, so this is on the other side of what goes into their gym.
Yes.
So it might be, it's just like a nice vacant area where it reaches like a cement sidewalk. So it might be a good location for a tree, if not something on the Washington side perhaps. So buildings and grounds should be able to do that. She said, of course, like last time, there would be no problems with that being coordinated for them to dig a hole.
So should I mention that we want to coordinate with coordinate with the principal, I'll say, or just coordinate through the school district offices?
That we're in present negotiate, present planning
Yeah,
with members of central office. Because and if I get the answer from her, because she says she'll probably contact me this week, if you want to
Okay.
draft it and have that part of it just kind of
Yep.
hanging back, then I might have a lead person to specifically identify as the one that Dr. Telesella and her decide would be the best person to take lead.
okay. All right, we can do that.
And I guess that's about it.
Okay, great. No, that sounds wonderful.
And the Memorial Tree Fund, will donate up to $500.
Okay.
For the purchase of the tree.
That's awesome.
And they were leaning towards something that wasn't flowering, and the idea of a sugar maple because it could be taught in lessons and stuff in the future.
Okay.
And it's a, if it is planted in that area, that's a huge open space that can have that tree very easily.
Absolutely.
Without wires and everything, it's a great area for it.
Okay, great. Okay, so tree planting for the fall. All the trees are in. Thank you, Kyla. Kyla gets a round of applause. Kyla did a lot of coordinating, not a lot of it. She went out and looked at all the locations, she marked everything, she dealt with the contractor, so she really did a lot of the legwork. We did get a thank you note from Annie Schultz from the Memorial Tree Fund. We included 4 new cherry trees where they lost the 4 flowering pears at the intersection with Broadway and Maiden Lane there, so at the County Green, which is very nice. And as all of you know, also the Memorial Tree Fund did also, they paid for the removal of 3 trees in Sharp's burial ground for us. So they were trees that were dying and threatening the stones, the headstones there at that historic location. So it's nice, we have an excellent working relationship with the Memorial Tree Fund. And so it's nice to be able to also give back to them at times. So that was a good thing, good project. And then lastly, 78 of Bruin Street, this was a woman reached out to us about a tree on her neighbor's property that was just beautiful. It's a beautiful street tree. She wanted to take it down. She said it was interfering with her lateral service. We had DPW look at it because I'm hesitant about taking any beautiful tree down. Kyla's putting it up right now. It's a gorgeous tree. DPW doubts that this tree is interfering with her service line. We've asked her to get a plumber, engage a plumber very, immediately. Her sewer is definitely, something is definitely wrong with it. It is bubbling up in her yard by her house, but we do not believe that it is this tree. That is the tree, her house is the white one where.
With the
you
black.
see- Yeah, so it's a distance away. We feel that it's, something else is blocking, could be an older line that is simply crushed. And, she needs to replace the line. It may not be roots at all.
Well, that's what happened.
So
to
she's
my-
been directed, it's a rental.
The cast
You know,
iron
she's
was
not
the
a-
last thing. I got it out before there was a problem.
That's good.
So
So she has like a plumber, like.
we told her to get a plumber immediately. We've notified the building safety division because it is an open.
I used to call
Sewer
back to
issue.
scope.
So I have not heard from her since I notified her that we weren't gonna tell her neighbor to take the tree down. So hopefully she's remedying it. So that is
That's horrible.
all that I have. Our next meeting is, December 12th. I left November on the agenda for whatever reason. Is December 12th. I know it's the middle of the holidays, so I'm asking commission members, what are your thoughts if we maybe, do you think we would need to meet to talk about Arbor Day?
No, I can
Or-
just give an update through an email,
Email,
with
okay.
Sharon and everybody, so I don't think any major decisions at this
Yeah, I
point.
mean, if anything comes in, I think, we might be able to handle it via an email. If we feel the need to call a meeting, we will, but, if not, I think it's a hard month to get people to come to meetings. We'll see. Unless anybody feels strongly about it, I'm inclined to hold off scheduling it until we find a meeting. I don't see anybody really begging for. Not really.
It's gonna be very cold then.
Include me in the evenings.
I do have you on there now,
Okay,
and I have your new email.
all right. Thank you very much. Bye.
Okay, so, does anybody else have anything, any business?
Just a question.
Yes.
So the follow-up for like the project consultants, so I'm gonna email you and everybody of what I found.
Yeah, if you want to email everybody, or you can just email me and I can circulate it, whatever you're comfortable with,
And so the decision, like, whatever, like, the decision, just for them to know, like, because I know they wanted to do like the work, pretty soon. And I know they're not gonna start to remove the tree unless they know exactly what's happening with the second one. So like, we can, I guess, have a report of what I've seen, what's possible and things, and after from that, we can decide.
right, I mean, if you actually go back to it and you look at it and you think that it would be possible to maybe redirect the sidewalk around with a couple of, obviously with some work. It's not just, just moving it over, it's still gonna require a little bit of work. And if that you feel would save the tree and prolong the tree's life, for another, 5 years.
Yeah.
I'm in favor of doing that
Sure.
rather than
Yeah,
taking it
that's
down.
doable. That's
I
doable.
really am. It's an otherwise very healthy tree, and if it's just a sidewalk heaving, I'd rather avoid that.
I know, it's a.
If there's an.
I just wanted to show this example, because this was by my parents'
Oh,
house,
yeah, yeah.
and, I mean, this is concrete though, so it's a little easier to do it with concrete, I think, than it is.
Yeah, but it can be done to-
It does, yeah, and they did that totally on, like, that took the initiative to do that.
Yeah, they are doing it on the other one too.
Yeah, they did it on both, this is a while ago,
And
but,
so maybe like a compromise of that, I'm just thinking about them and I know there's a cost related to things like if they were able to kind of like, kind of turn it away. And I know like to kind of have the term, the stone and stuff, it would be like painful, would that be able to do like this in concrete and just like catch up after with the stone or like?
They also had that fake bluestone, but they did the
Like,
corners of Franklin
Yeah,
Street.
I
Maybe
mean,
that could
it
be
is,
something that's used at
it's
that
not
area.
cheap, but I mean, there is a good, I mean, it's
Bluestone's not
concrete,
either.
but it does, It does actually.
It looks so good.
It looks, it's the closest to bluestone that I have seen in terms of, yeah, it
How
not
long
only
does
uses
it
the
supposed to
color,
last a long time too?
color and dye, you know, it's not only concrete that's dyed, but it's stamped with a texture, so it has, and then, you know, and then the lines are put in it, like, so it does look like slabs of bluestone.
That could be like even staining it, like staining the concrete or the color of the bluestone, this way it's not like this, you know.
Yeah,
You know, because yeah, like, the thing I'm concerned about is like how close are we from the sidewalk? Because here, you know, I was thinking like we can just have it coming more like, you know, like doing something like this. You know, like kind of, or because it's gonna be weird to come here and have this thing, I feel we'll have to extend it to make it somewhat, I don't know. I have to see on site, I have to see, but yeah, if we can.
yeah, you have
I-
to
I
see
see
what
that.
they're comfortable with in terms of, you know, because I'm not sure where their property line starts either, so, I mean, you don't want to bring it like all the way, like, you know, so
Yeah,
far
inside.
onto their property that
Right,
it's
right.
totally on their property, but I think, you know, pulling it up and around a
Because
little
you
bit,
can
like
just-
Kyla just showed, would be a
like
nice.
this.
It's almost like an arch like by the wall.
Yeah.
The thing is here, like it's really like you
Right.
can see, like, you know. So like if we can come here.
Yeah,
Kind of blended into the landscaping, that way it would look kind of nice.
right.
Actually.
Yeah, because all this is
And
planted
I think it
now.
would be, you know, is if they do it and they do it right, you know, we can use it as an example. And it's a great promotional, tell them, you know, they're the Good Works Institute. It's gonna be a Good Works project.
That's right, yeah.
It's a way.
I think we give them photo credit.
Would the city give them any bluestone? To, if it's, because it's, looks like it could be a.
Yeah, because they.
Go around.
Well, I mean, the Bluestone Bank, you know, is available. It's available for people that are redoing, I mean, when you're redoing a bluestone sidewalk and you have a couple of pieces that are totally crushed and you
Exactly,
can't
yeah.
reuse, that's what the intent for that, it's not to say, okay, I wanna put a whole bluestone sidewalk in front of my house.
Yeah,
kind of
it's
thing.
based on the
And
area.
it's not
too,
meant to
because they're
be used for
different
that, it's
materials.
meant to do repairs
Because
and inappropriate places
all
where you
broken,
do
yeah.
have, you know,
Yes.
you've got that material already in place. And you wanna keep that character.
But I'm just
and
thinking,
integrity.
even if those stones are in good shape, having enough to get around the tree, you know, they might need
Yeah.
extra.
For sure,
Mhm.
even more, that's the thing, that's the cost also.
Well, I mean, that might even be a place where you use that other material because you do have more flexibility in terms of, you know,
Yeah.
shaping it
And
and
it does look like
curving it, and that might be a place where that material is
So
used.
we can use the.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
What's it called?
It's concrete, I mean, it's concrete, but it's colored stamped concrete
Okay.
that really resembles bluestone. Yeah, I wish, I had.
So all the corners of like Pine Street to Franklin, where I am, it goes all the way down a distance, at like maybe like two pieces of bluestone, 2.5 pieces, and then down to make that ADA compliance in that slope. So maybe something like that, in order to be able to make that area, the ADA compliance would
Can you
be
pull
a
up
great
the
tool to
mayor's
use.
last newsletter?
So Pine,
Is it
Franklin, they use,
Each corner where the Franklin Street project has that composite
oh,
stuff,
yeah, yeah.
and it looks great.
I just asked Kyla to pull up the mayor's last newsletter. In that is at the intersection of North Front and, Green, where the Hoffman House is. They're putting in ADA compliant ramps at that intersection, and because of, obviously the historical integrity of that building, but they used the stamped concrete, and there's a picture of it in that newsletter, so I wanted to see if she could pull it up. Just to kind of show you what it looks like, but I mean, I've walked over it, and it does, it's the closest thing I've seen to.
Well, that's why they were using, because it's the Fair Street Historical District,
Right,
where that was the main key.
right.
I have a question about the fall tree plan, someone asked. someone from her garden club said, I applied for a tree, but I never heard it. So she never heard anything either for or against, like, yes, she'll get it. I mean, obviously she didn't get a tree. But she said she never heard anything.
Maybe she applied too late.
I don't know, I didn't notify everybody if it was
That's
a
what
no,
That's
but
what I'm wondering. Because
I don't
I
know.
can just tell her that.
if you tell me who
notify
it
me.
is, I can see
Her name is
what.
Bernadette Rexford, and she
Okay.
lives on a very short street over by George Washington School.
Okay.
It's a street I just
know what one
discovered
it
the other
is.
day when we had a meeting there. And you go down this,
Yeah, I think her house might be blocked out on Google even. I think, I did look at it and I don't remember why. This is the picture of the Hoffman house.
oh, yeah.
The
So
picture
that's-
makes it look a little bit darker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This almost looks like blacktop.
It's
but-
so much lighter over by me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I wonder if it was drying still or something.
It's not today.
But it still looks pretty good.
It does. And it does look like bluestone.
Okay, could you go back to that, please, Carl, please? Is that
Sure.
And also St. James Street, I don't know, they're not in a historic district, so they're not necessarily
They might
required
be,
to-
no, they're on the perimeter now, so they wouldn't.
Not on the other side of Clinton.
No.
Not on that side of Clinton, no.
No.
So they don't necessarily, up here?
Yeah. So now we have, so this is an old picture. Because
Yeah.
now this is still here and it stops, like there's none of this. We just have like the post like this, and right here.
Yeah, it's been gone.
And this is gone also, but we have like this little concrete thing here. And I was just wondering like whose responsibility it is to remove this, because there's no, I think it was an old light.
It was, it
Yeah.
was a light for the
So,
city.
yeah, so the light is gone, but this post is still there.
Oh, the pole is still there, but the light, I mean, the light is gone. Is
Yeah.
the arm off? The arm is
Yes, the
gone.
arm
Yes.
is off, only like only this is
Okay.
staying, and we have like the concrete also, like the concrete pedestal here stays with nothing. else.
Okay.
So we're just wondering if it could be, because if you wanted like an ADA access here,
Right.
this would have to be,
We
Remove.
asked the DPW to assist in that.
Yeah.
and
Good point.
because it would be cool to put an ADA access here and remove like all
I
the
mean, the
stones.
pole, yeah, I mean, if the pole is no longer in use.
No, it's not.
I should go,
Because we look at
Yes,
it.
it did away
it's
with it a
old,
long time ago.
just-
Okay.
And it seems like all the other intersection are removed except this one. That was like something else.
Okay. All right. Good, okay. Good. Anything else? Okay, so I need a motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Okay.
Second.
And a second, anybody opposed, all in favor? Aye. Okay, so we're adjourned at 5:41. Thank you, everybody, thank you.